If you're 50 or older and don't want your memory stolen from you so fast, you need to pay very close attention to this video. You've probably always been told that Alzheimer's is just about aging or genetics. But as a neurologist who has studied this disease for many years, I can tell you there's much more to it than those two factors. Some habits you carry out every single day, which may seem normal or harmless, are actually pushing you one step closer to Alzheimer's disease without you realizing it. Today, I'm going to share the top 10 habits that quietly push you closer to Alzheimer's and how you can stop them before it's too late. Pay close attention to number 1. It's one of the biggest risks that most people overlook but can make a huge difference when addressed. Habit 10. Poor sleep quality. I can't stress this enough. Sleep is when your brain cleans the house. Think of it like vacuuming after everyone's gone to bed, like Mom used to do when the Late Show ended. It's when your brain performs its essential detox. During deep sleep, a specialized system called the glymphatic system activates, flushing out toxic proteins like amyloid and tau that are closely linked to Alzheimer's disease. It's like rinsing out a coffee pot at the end of the day. You can't start fresh tomorrow unless today's waste is cleared. Imagine your brain taking a nightly shower, washing away the waste products accumulated during your waking hours. Why does this matter? Because without enough quality sleep, ideally 8 to 10 hours, this cleanup process slows down. Toxic buildup then silently damages neurons, leading to memory loss and cognitive decline over time. Studies show that disrupted or insufficient sleep can increase Alzheimer's risk significantly. To protect your brain, set up a calming bedtime routine. Avoid screens, like you're turning off the TV before the 10 o'clock news. Keep your room cool and dark. Stick to regular sleep hours, like back when bedtime meant missing the second half of Columbo. But sleep is only one piece of the puzzle, because Habit 9, chronic stress, is the silent brain destroyer. Living under constant stress floods your brain with cortisol, a hormone that, in high amounts, literally shrinks the hippocampus. And the hippocampus is the part of the brain responsible for memory and learning. This relentless assault not only erodes your ability to remember, but also sparks inflammation that speeds up cognitive decline. If your life feels like you're stuck in the middle of a Dallas drama, your brain's waving the white flag. But the good news is, you can fight back. Deep breathing, daily quiet time, walks outside instead of scrolling the headlines. And don't underestimate old favorites, gardening, puzzles, or even singing along to the Beatles. These aren't just hobbies, they are mental seatbelts. Habit 8. Sedentary lifestyle. If you spend most of your day sitting or lying down, your brain is silently paying the price. Back in the day, you didn't sit long. There were errands to run, kids to chase, or a lawn to mow after Sunday lunch. Physical inactivity drastically reduces blood flow and oxygen delivery to your neurons, the very cells that keep your memory sharp and your thinking clear. Without enough movement, your brain starts to shrink faster and cognitive decline speeds up. Why does this happen? Because your brain depends on a steady supply of oxygen-rich blood to function and stay healthy. When you're sedentary, that supply dwindles, starving neurons and weakening brain networks. But here's the fix. You don't have to overhaul your life to protect your brain. Simple habits like taking a brisk 20 to 30-minute walk daily, stretching regularly even while sitting, and breaking up long periods of sitting with movement can flood your brain with the oxygen and nutrients it desperately needs. Habit 7. Poor diet. If your daily meals are loaded with sugary snacks, processed junk, and unhealthy fats, your brain is silently suffering. Remember when dessert was a slice of apple pie, not a vending machine pastry with a shelf life longer than Elvis's career? These foods trigger chronic inflammation and oxidative stress. And these are two powerful enemies that damage brain cells and drastically increase your risk of Alzheimer's. Think of it this way. Every sugary soda or processed snack you reach for floods your body with toxins that your brain struggles to fight off. Over time, this toxic overload wears down your memory, focus, and overall brain health. But you can choose to fuel your brain with what it truly needs. Swap out those processed snacks for whole, nutrient-rich foods like fresh berries, leafy greens, walnuts, and fatty fish like salmon or mackerel. These foods are packed with antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids that protect your neurons and fight inflammation. And don't forget to hydrate. Drinking plenty of water helps flush out toxins and keeps your brain firing on all cylinders. Habit 6. Social isolation. The truth is, humans are wired for connection, yet many of us face days filled with little meaningful interaction. Social isolation isn't just lonely, it's dangerous for your brain. When you lack regular contact with friends or family, your brain networks weaken, making it harder to think clearly and remember. In fact, isolation can increase your risk of dementia by up to 50%. Why? Because social interaction stimulates your brain, builds resilience, and keeps neural pathways active. Without it, those pathways start to fade. But reconnecting doesn't have to be hard. Make it a point to call or video chat with loved ones regularly. Even a quick conversation can boost your brain health. Join local clubs, volunteer groups, or hobby classes to meet new people and keep your mind engaged. Even a bingo night or choir practice can light up your neurons like a jukebox at a diner. If getting out isn't possible, phone calls and virtual meetups are powerful tools to stay connected. Always remember, your brain thrives on connection. Don't let isolation steal your memories or your mind. Habit 5. Smoking. If you're in your 40s or 50s and still smoking, your brain might be decades older than your actual age. It's like running a classic car on bad fuel. It clogs the engine and wears down the parts. Studies show that by age 50, smokers' brains can appear 10 to 20 years older than non-smokers. The toxins from cigarettes and secondhand smoke damage tiny blood vessels and neurons, starving your brain of oxygen and nutrients essential for memory and thinking. This damage doesn't wait. It silently chips away at your mental sharpness and increases your risk of Alzheimer's disease. Quitting smoking is one of the most important steps that you can take to slow down brain aging. It gives your brain a second chance. Talk to your doctor, join a quit program. Trade the cigarette break for a walk or a few deep breaths. Your brain will thank you, even if your hands miss the habit for a while. Also, avoid smoky environments and practice deep breathing exercises to help your lungs and brain recover. If this hit home, don't just keep it to yourself. Send this video to that friend who still smokes or share it with a loved one who needs to hear it. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next brain-boosting habit coming up. Now, let's see the next brain habit that might be quietly stealing your mental edge. Habit 4. Drinking excessive alcohol. If you regularly drink more than a glass of wine or a beer a day, then listen carefully. Alcohol kills brain cells and disrupts the circuits that control your memory and thinking. Over time, this can cause your brain to shrink faster, making it harder to remember names, focus, or solve problems. You might not notice it at first, but excessive drinking also robs your brains of vital nutrients like vitamin B1, which it needs to stay sharp. And the more you drink, the greater your risk of accidents that can cause serious brain injury. So here's what you can do. You can protect your brain by cutting back. Limit yourself to 1 drink a day or less, and try to have several alcohol-free days each week. Trade the nightcap for a warm herbal tea, like the ones Grandma used to swear by. If you find it tough to cut down, reaching out for support can make all the difference. Habit 3. Ignoring or delaying treatment for hearing problems. You might think missing a few words here and there is no big deal, but every sound your ear fails to catch is a missed workout for your brain. Let me explain. When hearing fades and goes untreated, your brain receives less stimulation, causing critical areas to weaken. This isn't just about struggling in conversations. Untreated hearing loss can raise your dementia risk by up to 30%. Beyond biology, hearing loss often pushes people into isolation, cutting them off from their friends and family. That loneliness accelerates cognitive decline even more. Here's the solution to this. Don't wait for your hearing to worsen. Get tested regularly, and if hearing aids are recommended, wear them consistently. Protect your ears from loud noises to keep your brain's connection to the world strong. Coming up next is constant multitasking and distraction. In today's nonstop digital world, it's tempting to juggle emails, texts, and tasks all at once. Back in the day, you answered one phone call at a time. No texts, alerts, or 12 tabs open. But this constant switching overloads your brain's ability to focus and store memories. Instead of getting more done, you end up scattered, forgetful, and mentally exhausted. To protect your brain, try to give it the break it needs. Focus fully on one task at a time. Silence unnecessary notifications and practice mindfulness. Even folding laundry can be peaceful without background noise. These simple shifts can help your brain work smarter, not harder. Your brain isn't made for constant switches. It's not a remote control. It needs focus. Finally, at the top of it all is ignoring cardiovascular risks. Most people focus on what they can feel, aches, pains, but the silent dangers are the ones we forget. It's like driving a car and ignoring the oil light until the engine gives out. Most people don't know this, but uncontrolled high blood pressure, diabetes, and chronic inflammation are quietly damaging the tiny blood vessels that feed your brain. When these vessels are damaged, your brain cells don't get the oxygen and nutrients they need to work properly. Over time, this causes toxic proteins to build up, which speeds up memory loss and raises your risk of Alzheimer's disease. What does this mean for you? Every day that your blood pressure or blood sugar is out of control, your brain is struggling. You might not notice it at first, but this damage adds up, making it harder to remember things, focus, and think clearly as time goes on. The good news is that you can take action. Keep a close eye on your blood pressure and blood sugar levels. Follow your doctor's advice on medications and lifestyle changes. Eating heart-healthy foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats, and staying active can make a huge difference in protecting your brain. Now, let's look at someone who learned this the hard way, Mr. Peterson. Mr. Peterson is 70 years old. For years, he lived with high blood pressure and diabetes that weren't well controlled. Slowly, his memory started slipping, and his family noticed he was becoming forgetful. When doctors checked, they found his brain was damaged because of those untreated conditions. His story shows just how important it is to manage these risks before they steal your memories. Now, let's run it from the beginning. If you want to reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease, improve your sleep, manage stress, move daily, eat brain-healthy foods, stay socially connected, avoid smoking and excess alcohol, treat hearing loss, reduce distractions, and most importantly, control your cardiovascular health. Again, don't keep it to yourself. Just like we used to share good recipes, good movies, or a tip from the evening news, share this with someone you love. Your brain's future depends on what you do today, not just your genes or age. Now, here's your first small task. Swap that afternoon candy bar for almonds or a crisp apple, just like you used to pack your kids' lunchboxes back when you knew how to keep things simple and healthy. See you in the next video.